Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Qul huwa Allahu ahad, Allahu samad, lam yalid wa lam yulad wa lam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. Say He is Allah who is one, Allah the eternal refuge. He neither begets nor is he born, and there is none equivalent to him. Sadaqallahu lazim. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Alhamdulillah. Salatu wassalamu ala rasulin nabiyil kareem wa ala alihi ashabihi ajmain. Amma ba'd. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to everyone for joining us today. Those who are joining it, we'll be starting in from about 5 minutes from now. Let me give a brief introduction to TAIF. TAIF Digital Institute is created to lead the way through a new age approach to the training and awareness of Islamic finance, providing end-to-end digital learning solutions to the bank and Islamic finance institutions by combining the knowledge of Islamic finance and technology and presenting it to the masses of the Ummah. TAIF offers to make Islamic banking and finance to the world as a commercially viable solution by digitizing it and making it available to all. Today's webinar is very unique. It is an introductory webinar for the Diploma in Islamic Fintech. The growing demand and limited supply of digital talent are placing immense pressure on Islamic finance institutions to scale up their digital skills and hunt for the right talent. Today, for this course, we have asked none other than Mufti Faraz Adam to join us. Mufti Faraz is a well-known speaker, Islamic finance. He have joined us from UK. We are honored to have him as a Sharia advisor with TAIF. He is advisor to the number of well-known global finance institutions, Islamic finance institutions, and serves across the Islamic knowledge in the banking industry, SME, finance, zakat, waqf, and has established different planning for different organizations. With this, today's session will be moderated by Fahad Siddiqui, COO at TAIF Digital Institute of Islamic Finance. Fahad is a seasoned Islamic banker and a cloud computing-based software development specialist. Fahad has over 17 years of Islamic banking experience. Fahad also leads various financial technology initiatives in North America and APAC for branch transactions and digitization. Before I will invite both of them, I will ask our CEO, Mr. Ziaullah Siddiqui, to give an opening remark to the session, and we can continue.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. As-salatu was-salamu ala Rasulihil Nabil Kareem wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajmain. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you very much, Brother Ehsan, for giving me an opportunity to do the introductory remarks for this session. And thank you very much all for appreciating and our effort and to be present here. I can see that the number of people who are online so far have reached more than 100. So thank you very much all and welcome you all. I will try to only give you a brief introduction about the course, give you some background, and then I will leave most of the talking to Fahad and Mufti Faraz, the real hero for today, our Sheikh Mufti Faraz. When we the story of this course started when we registered TAIF, and then we started working. Me and Fahad, we started looking around for scholars and looking around for titles that we can use for the first of our course. So the title that came to my mind was actually fintech. The one of the key reason was that although many of you know, and I will not repeat my introduction today again. It will be quite boring for those who have heard it so many times earlier. In my career, although like I was a practical business manager and I was running like different organizations, I kept hearing about fintech and never had an opportunity to actually learn what is fintech. So one this topic came to our mind, my mind as well initially, and then we discussed, me and Fahad, and we said that we need to do something in fintech. I said that before we do anything, I would love to do something, learn myself prior to the course. I did a course. There is a one basic course available from one institution currently, and a few of the colleagues who I see present today, I know that they were there in that course as well. So I did that course, and then I came out and I told Fahad that there is like in terms of the opportunity, we see that there is an opportunity for a course where we discuss and we tell the youth of today the basic concepts of fintech, what is the knowledge, what is the perspective of fintech, and beside that we can add to it what can be like a Sharia perspective of it. So it will be a combination. So when somebody attend this course, the person should be able to actually have at least the basic knowledge and a complete background of fintech, should be able to understand well what is going on in fintech, and should also be able to actually appreciate what is Islamic fintech as well. So the title and sort of the course outline was decided. Then we said that we need to actually look for somebody who could be the best possible person, who can be the resource person for this course, and whom we can request to actually do this course. We started looking at the profile of several people, several learned scholars available on LinkedIn, but we were faced with a, soon we realized that we have a challenge. Challenge was that there were like several people who were excellent in Sharia side. They had the best knowledge and best qualification and best experience on the Sharia side of the fintech related issues, who could give you a proper fatwa on any of the subjects and from Sharia side. But we and on the other side there were people who were actually finance experts and who could not actually, they were expert in finance, they will give you best of the best in terms of the knowledge on fintech, but they would not be able to explain to you the Sharia aspect of it. So so we kept looking. One point we thought maybe we involve two instructors, and then finally, like I say, that this is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then that we got to know brother Faraz Adam. And if you look at his profile, he's a Chartered Institute of Insurance, he's a ACCA. He has done his master on arts, Islamic banking and finance from Newman University, Birmingham. International Business Management Institute. He has done masters in business administration as well. And above all, he has done like Darul Ifta, Muhammadiyah. He's a master Islamic law masters as well, Islamic law and finance distinct with distinction. And beside that, the degree in Islamic law he has from Darul Uloom Leicester as well. He is also like fintech innovation. He has done some courses on that from University of Michigan, fintech law and policy. So we said there cannot be anybody else other than brother Mufti Faraz Adam to do this course. So one man who knows both aspects, the financial side and the worldly side of that subject, and the Sharia side of the subject as well. So alhamdulillah, we ended up with brother Faraz Adam, and he was kind enough to actually spare his time and then be ready to do the coursework for us. The second step for us was digital content development. We said we would like this course to be different, and we would like this course to be as interactive as possible, so that it is not just a Zoom class that you are attending, and it should be more interactive. We started looking for different vendors. We found vendors who were doing different types of commercial products, but we said we would like to have somebody, some organization who is into the learning is their core business. And we ended up with a vendor, EI Design, who actually specialized in doing these learning products only. And then for those of you who know actually the content, how digital contents are made, there are like different levels of content interaction, or in terms of the interaction. So this content, we said that we want to provide the users and this course to distinguish not only in terms of the content, but in terms of the customer experience as well, so that when they experience, they should see what is digital. And so this is like among the highest levels of level 3 in terms of in terms of interactivity of the content. There are 4 levels, and this is a level 3 content. So Alhamdulillah, it took us time and effort seriously, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has been kind that finally we are able to actually launch this course. We are happy and proud to launch this formally today, although I'm so happy that few of you have already registered for the course. So this is in brief the background of the course. We have tried our best to provide you the best user experience involving the best possible instructor knowledge resource that we could get. And I gave you the background in terms of current knowledge and in terms of the knowledge of Sharia. So the course is basically will give you a perspective and background of Islamic fintech, fintech in general. So you can learn fintech and you will get ideas about the Islamic fintech as well. So this is from my side. I hope you will enjoy, you will, and it will be a great learning experience for you when you will do this course. We have tried our best to provide you the best value for money. Thank you very much. I leave now to Fahad and Mufti Faraz. I will be available again towards the end of it for any questions and answers that you might have. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Enjoy the proceedings.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi everyone. Assalamu alaikum Sheikh. So let's start. Sheikh, maybe you can brief us, on what is happening in the Islamic finance world, especially in fintech, and how when you envisioned this course and when you were writing this course, what were the dots you were trying to connect between the Sharia compliance, the industry, and the banking landscape we have today? The industry today is 2.8 trillion, we know, and it's going to grow super fast, inshallah, to 3 plus trillion in few years by 2024. We know fintech is a catalyst. A lot of fintechs are happening. We have seen the latest fintech global report issued out of Far East, which says there are more than 250 plus fintechs, now Sharia compliant fintech. We also see collaboration in the bank. So the forum is yours. Please walk us through.
جزاك الله خير. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله وسلم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. أما بعد. First of all, it's an honor and a privilege to be with you all. I'd like to extend my thanks and gratitude to the TAIF team, the entire team. Honestly, there's so many people involved At the forefront is Brother Zia, who's done an amazing job to pull this together. Honestly, it's been almost a year of work on this particular course. There's been so much work that's gone into it just to make sure that the user journey and user experience is of premium quality. And not only that, the vision, the effort that's gone into just and the research. Look, fintech is an area, and exactly as Brother Zia was mentioning, it's from a Sharia perspective, it's an ongoing exploration, it's an ongoing dialogue. Where Islamic finance right now, we have the Sharia standards on IOFI and everything, developing knowledge and understanding fintech and applying that knowledge into fintech, it's a real challenge. There's very limited individuals right now who are pursuing this kind of area, and alhamdulillah, most scholars are now going forward, doing more research, and beginning to learn more about tech and how finance is really intertwining with tech and what kind of outcomes are coming out. Because look, we're entering into a decade or two where AI is going to be a real phenomenon, right? Artificial, I mean, it's already started, but the way AI will engage with us, that's one thing. The way blockchain is going to change our lives, okay, that's another thing. Crypto, look, we're seeing crypto on the news every single day. Who knows in 10 years what would be the state of the financial system, okay? So these are real questions for us as Muslims, first and foremost, as people who are serving Islam, which is the key. We want to be of benefit. We want to show that Islam is of benefit to people, and Islam is not only uh, for certain areas of our life. Islam goes everywhere, and predominantly in the financial markets, we can see how Islam gives us a narrative. It gives us a vision. It gives us a path. Not that Islam doesn't restrict us, but Islam guides us. That's the difference. There's no restriction with Islam, rather, it's guidance for our own benefit. And fintech, as Brother Fahad, as you were mentioning, absolutely right. Uh, Based on the latest report just launched by Ellipsis and Dinar Standard on the Global Islamic Fintech Report 2021, it's an excellent report for everybody here to read. I would definitely recommend Brother Abdul Hasib Basit, who's behind Ellipsis, the co-founder. He's put in a lot of work, a lot of effort in developing that report. So at present, there are 241 Islamic fintechs, right, across the world, and it's growing. Honestly, if you look at it back maybe 1 year ago, there must have been 120 or something, or 100, but it's growing rapidly now. We're seeing a number of countries now engaging with fintech, and we'll discuss the different the data that's out there. But the opportunity is huge, and what we need to do is really rise to the challenge. And I think this is what this course is about. It's giving you that you could say stepping stone to rise to the challenge of understanding this whole ecosystem. What I found difficult was to find Islam, in terms of Islamic fintech, there's very few courses on Islamic fintech anyway in the world. But then to be able to discuss the Sharia elements, talk about the tech elements, and try to bring them together in a very easy, digestible way, that's the greatest challenge. Because you'll find a dozen of courses on tech, right? You can find so many things, but for it to be digestible to a person who's interested in this area and space, that's where the challenge is. And that's, I guess, what we've tried to do here is try to make sure that this course is something which is easy, yet engaging. It's at the same time it's enriching, and not only that, it gives you a vision of what's happening in the world, right? You'll be inshallah at a stage where then you can begin to have a dialogue with the different areas of fintech, because look, fintech is a very broad term. There's so many angles of fintech, and that's why the course that we have touches upon the different areas and sectors within fintech. But then once you go through that, you'll be able to understand, okay, this is InsureTech. Okay, this is uh, alternative finance. This is robo advisory. This is blockchain. This is crypto. I mean, people think crypto and fintech are the same thing, right? Because the retail market and everybody, we just see crypto as the only kind of manifestation of fintech. But really, it's not. That's just one drop in the ocean. There's so much more to fintech, which is really life changing as well as life enriching and impactful.
Jazakallah Sheikh, for the overview. Now, another question I have in my mind is that from the perspective of, so the course is designed for a person who's non-technical and non-technical. And then we have brothers and sisters coming from different walks of life. Some are Islamic bankers, some are conventional bankers, some are students. So how you feel that, you feel that they will be aligning to this course?
Yeah,
And,
it's
what is the career impact to them?
a very good question. Look, one thing I always tell my friends, associates, and students about any course: every course is of value and benefit, wherever it may be, whoever is offering that course. Knowledge is something, when you learn, you'll always gain something. And I'll tell you from my own experience, I've not taken a single course, but that I found something to be of benefit, right? The volume of benefit might be different in certain courses because of the experience, user journey, the kind of resources which are available. Of course, no doubt about it. But generally speaking, there's always something that a person takes away, which just adds the extra value in your life. It's knowledge is a journey. It's not just a 1 day thing, right? Especially in these areas, in upcoming, new, emerging areas, knowledge is an ongoing dialogue. So if you had studied fintech 2 years ago, you're already out of date, right? But you'd agree, isn't it? Right? It's the reality of the market. Fintech is an ongoing collaboration, and that's why what I thought of, it's no point telling you the latest trend or this. It's rather laying the foundation for you that, look, whichever area you go into, whenever you go, there'll always be this foundation that you've got now. So we've touched upon all the different areas of fintech. Everything we've discussed in the course, uh, the what's happening in the world, it builds on top of that. So it's a really good way. So if you're in banking, for example, we talk about neo banking, how digital banking works, right? What are the differences, in terms of licensing? What makes a digital bank a digital bank, even in terms of its license? Because at times, a challenger bank that you have, it's not a bank per se. It's white labeling another bank or another institution. Like in the UK, we have regulations with the FCA about this, and you have sandboxes. So we talk about all these things, how these digital banks are positioned, because that impacts the Sharia compliance. How does it, for example, you have a digital bank. It's advertising itself as a bank, right? But its money sits with a conventional bank, right? And people probably don't know that it's an Islamic bank on the face of it, but its money right now is ring fenced with another bank. The question is, from a Sharia perspective, that money that's on the bank, the balance sheet of that bank, is that bank, and can that bank leverage on these funds? Does it impact the balance sheet? Does it allow for the equity to debt ratio? Does it change it? Does it increase the asset? These are all the things that are Sharia questions when dealing with these kinds of challenging, intertwining kind of relationships in fintech. And then you have stuff like you have stuff like crypto assets. I mean, a huge area which to date there's still no consensus on the kind of Sharia understanding of crypto, what it is. Blockchain is another area. How do we ensure blockchain is utilized in a manner which is compliant with Sharia? I mean, the protocols. How do you design a protocol for a blockchain, a smart contract? When does a smart contract breach Sharia principles? What are the key areas we'd have to look at for Sharia compliance? So these are all the things we discuss in a course, in this course, which makes it really, I would say, engaging. And not only that, I think the aesthetics of the course is brilliant. I've seen it myself. It's it's not your simple kind of text. You're not going to be reading a book. That's the thing. It's a very interactive. I think the investment that's gone into this course, I don't want to disclose numbers, but subhanallah, when you experience it yourself, you'll know that the brothers at Taif have really given it their all to make sure that this knowledge increases. And it's not just about honestly speaking, for myself, and I'm sure for the team, it's more about empowering individuals, right? We want to empower the future generation to use fintech, right? To use fintech. Why? Because it will only add value to the Islamic economy. And when it adds value to the Islamic economy, inshallah, the people across the world will benefit, right? There'll be benefit for everybody, for the entire value chain. And that's what this course is trying to do. Is this course is trying to be a catalyst to add value in our lives, add value in everyone's life. So if whether you're in Nigeria, whether you're in America, whether you're in Indonesia, the UK, this course will add value to you, your operations. whichever career you're from, if you're from insurance sector, I 100% believe this will add value to you, because we talk about insurance, we talk about the latest trends in terms of takaful and how that can uh, work with fintech. We talk about digital banking. We talk about blockchain and its application. We talk about a robot advisory, another huge area we're seeing. We talk about alternative finance, how alternative finance has come about in the last decade, and how it's really reshaped finance. 10 years ago, see, alternative finance came about as a result of the global financial crisis. Before, it was a norm to go to a bank for any SME or whoever it may be and to apply for financing. When the global financial crisis hit, regulations increased, profits for banks in serving SMEs, small to medium enterprises, was not really high. So banks started to neglect SMEs. This created a boom of alternative lenders, alternative providers. And now you see platforms who are literally just platforms. But what they're doing is connecting investors and borrowers, or lenders, borrowers, or from a Sharia perspective, investors and projects together, and that's created a whole new ecosystem of SME financing and alternative finance, and crowdfunding and crowdsourcing and all these different P2P, right? All this we're seeing now, and it's huge. It's a huge area in market, and we're seeing in every week or so, every month, we're seeing different companies coming forward with such new products, and it's just unlocking new capital for startups and many companies. So the whole area is really empowering Muslims. I mean, in the UK alone, the number of fintechs that have we've seen come to the fore in the last year, it's been phenomenal, right? It's been phenomenal, and really gives comfort to myself knowing that, inshallah, Islamic finance. Remember, fintech is part of Islamic finance. Islamic finance is really beginning to grow, and I believe fintech will be one of the major catalysts for that.
Alhamdulillah. So, Sheikh, another question I'm going to ask will be, since you are, mashallah, sitting on many fintechs board yourself, including digital banks, including robo advisory, National Zakat Foundation is also there, Halal Canada, where I live, you are on the board. So, tell us about the talent shortage. Like, because when I see it as an obligation, because as a Muslim, if I'm not learning and I'm not contributing to those Islamic fintech startups, and those startups are having difficulty finding the right talent. So
Mm.
how you like on since you are seeing it from the very the bird view angle, tell us about the shortage supply, and help us motivate the listeners here who are aspiring Islamic digital banker or fintech specialist for tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, look, for in terms of your career, honestly speaking, for those who are looking to um, enhance their career, then fintech is an amazing place to venture into, simply because there's so much to do there, from a regulatory perspective, from a legal perspective, from an accounting perspective, from a Sharia perspective, from every walk of life, of course, from a tech perspective, right? So if you're a developer, and Fadbag, you can speak more about this, but the expertise that's required in this, you have to think 10 years ahead for yourself, 20 years ahead. Don't think about today or don't think about yesterday. Always be forward looking. See, look, what can I, from where I am right now, where do I want to be in 20, 30 years time? And then you have to charter that path. It's going to take time, it'll take effort, it'll take hours of studying, it'll take hours of research, but you have to put those hours in if you want to be from the leaders of tomorrow. And it's not for the sake of being a leader, but the fact that you want to be a benefit, because a leader is one who benefits people at the end of the day. Why does he become a leader? It's because people find him beneficial. So we want to be a benefit to people, and this is an area which 100% will be of benefit to you as a career. And in terms of your particular question of human capital, look, the Global Islamic Fintech Report is surveyed over 100, as far as I recall, fintechs. They mentioned three biggest challenges that they have, right? The three biggest challenges fintechs have today is, number one, lack of capital, of course, right, which is a huge one. There's not much investment taking place in fintechs, although there's a lot of investment, but still there's a lack of capital. Number two, consumer education is a huge area. See, there's a lack of education. There needs to be somebody to plug that gap, the educational gap. And this is exactly what TAIF is trying to do, to plug that gap, to bridge that gap. And number three, they mentioned finding talent, right? This talent is missing. See, fintech is a very Fintech is not just a sector, it's not just an industry. Fintech is almost, I would say, a mindset, right? And understand what I'm saying here. See, the whole thing about fintech is leveraging, it's about disaggregating, it's about creating intermediaries, it's about making a better user journey, customer experience, being fast, slick, being very agile, right? It's about leveraging the latest things, quick, fast. This kind of fintech space, we need individuals who embrace that kind of fintech reality. Individuals who can pivot quick, fast, who understand markets, who are responsive, who are agile, who can work with multiple parties at a very quick rate, who know what they're talking about, who can deliver solutions. So fintech is not only about a sector. Rather, we need to embrace the kind of the vision, the spirit of fintech within us, which is this kind of service delivery. And it's those who have embraced fintech as a sector, but then espouse and embody fintech as an individual, you will really see such people shine and really grow, because the world that we live in today, look, we're living in a world where everything's immediate. It's extreme, like immediate. I mean, people don't want to email. People rather WhatsApp, right? Email is too slow. Email has become too slow. WhatsApp, Telegram is better. We don't want email now. We want instant in everything. That's the way we work. Now, only those people who can maintain that kind of flow and speed and responsiveness will really enhance. So fintech not only empowers you in terms of knowledge, but it empowers your character, your personality to really be able to work at a faster speed, deliver greater, and therefore you become more beneficial. And not only that, your career increases, your opportunity. It really takes, see, not legacy systems are institutionalized, right? Legacy systems are all about institutionalizing. It's about this kind of long process, intermediaries. That's how legacy systems are, or the traditional banking, traditional systems. Fintech is all the opposite. And so when you are out of that institutionalization and out of that kind of institute, it opens up your horizons differently. You become more entrepreneurial. And that is really powerful. To be an individual who's entrepreneurial in this day and age will open up 100 doors. And this is exactly so the benefit of learning about Islamic fintech and taking this course is not only about the technical knowledge or the Sharia knowledge, rather it's empowering you, building a mindset, building your personality, right? I think this course is psychological as much as it is technological, right? It really empowers you mentally to how to think, how to behave, how to adapt, how to respond, how to be agile. And that's what we need as individuals, and that will empower us.
Yes. Jazakallah, Sheikh. I have like a two beautiful question I never thought of. One is that one of the brothers saying I work in capital and securities market, and one of the sisters she's saying that is this course will this course help the kids and the students who are, let's say, teenagers. So I know the answer, but I'll let you chime in, Sheikh.
Of course, of course. Look, as I said, there's so many areas. I can say 90% of people, or I'm 90% sure here, that people will not have looked into blockchain to this level in depth, into cryptos, into SaaS, software as a service, which is another area which we discuss in the course, banking as a service, digital banking. These are all words we're reading, we're seeing, right? Constantly, and it's only going to increase as we go forward. It will always add value. I have total belief that there will be a lot of value in your own journey. Teenagers, most definitely. In fact, one of the courses of which we're working on, and I don't know if I should say this, right, but there's a whole area and gap for teenagers in finance, let alone fintech. In finance alone, you can't find a simple course where a teenager can go and learn about Islamic finance today. Honestly speaking, like a 15-year-old kid, why isn't that the case? And this is what TAIF is trying to do. TAIF is working on these initiatives whereby it's grassroots level education, but then we have these courses which are, I would say, it's like a bridge between not only grassroots but really the practitioners, and to be able to empower them to see beyond just the surface that they're already accustomed to and used to.
Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. And then we need some good feedbacks from the market as well. That whatever we are doing, if they want us to adjust, readjust, please get involved, because TAIF is not an entity owned by a few bunch of people. It's the entity owned by the entire Ummah. And this is our joint responsibility that whatever your pain points, you need to come out and start writing on the LinkedIn and other place. Sheikh, tell us the Sharia compliance from the angle of this course, because I was talking to some brothers last week in the Fintech Indonesia hub and then Fintech Kenya hub. Mashallah, a lot of our sisters and brothers are really pushing forward. Naturally, capital is one of their issue. Like one of the fintech in Kenya, one sister, she's trying to put together, a tech, and she's looking for funding. But then help us understanding that all those 241 fintech organization which are operating today, in different set of stages they are, how this course is going to help them. For example, should they even take this course and use your Sharia guidelines, and will this help them to talk to the regulator, for example, design product structuring and etc.?
Yeah. So um, on this particular point, see, Sharia compliance is our number one responsibility. More than anything, it should be Sharia compliance, because we don't get Sharia. Remember, people misunderstand what Sharia compliance is. Sharia compliance is not just about. It's not a marketing exercise in any way, shape, or form. Okay, the benefits are there for the market, for your product, no doubt about it. We attract more customers, more investors. Those who are concerned with Sharia compliance, they will happily then invest in your product and take benefit from your product. But as Muslims, our primary concern is that Allah is happy with us. That's the primary concern. That is the concern for us as Muslims. We can have the best product, leveraging the best tech, having the greatest market at our disposal. If Allah is not happy with us, then all of that is a waste, which is a fact, right? What Sharia compliance then is about is how do we ensure that my business, me as an individual, and what I'm doing is that Allah is happy with me. If you're a scholar, you understand everything, you can deduce that yourself. If you're not a scholar, you don't have expertise in Sharia, then you must seek guidance. It's as simple as that. You should check with somebody, ask somebody. So what Sharia compliance does, an end-to-end review of your business, advice of your business, how to leverage things, how to product develop in a way which is Sharia compliant. This is very important, because the last thing we want is for our because of our lack of kind of concern for Sharia compliance, it impacts us in this world in terms of loss of Allah's happiness, loss of barakah, and in the hereafter. I mean, I just want to give you one example in the Quran or two. Allah in Surah Al-Jumu'ah, right? We all have heard of Surah Al-Jumu'ah, the chapter of Jumu'ah. Allah talks about when the adhan is called for Jumu'ah, Allah tells us, وَذَرُوا الْبَيْءِ إِذَا نُودِيَ لِلصَّلَاةِ مِنْ يَوْمِ الْجُمُعَةِ فَاسْعُوا إِلَى ذِكْرِ اللَّهِ وَذَرُوا الْبَيْءِ. Allah tells us that when the adhan is called for Jumu'ah, then hasten towards the dhikr of Allah, the remembrance of Allah, and leave trading and transacting, leave bay. He tells us, ذَلِكُمْ خَيْرٌ لَكُمْ إِن كُنتُمْ تَعْلَمُونَ. That's better for you only if you knew. Then Allah tells us that فَإِذَا قُضِيَتِ الصَّلَاةُ فَانْتَشِرُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ وَابْتَغُوا مِنْ فَضْلِ اللَّهِ. Allah tells us that when Salah is finished, the Jumu'ah Salah is complete, then disperse in the land and seek from the bounties of Allah. Right? Look, in this verse, Allah tells us first, He says, when the adhan was called initially, Allah said, وَذَرُوا الْبَيْءِ. He uses the word bay. Bay means just buying, selling, transacting. Something mundane. Because this transacting, trading was becoming an impediment to the dhikr of Allah. So Allah says, look, leave bay. Don't do this. Leave it alone. But once you have performed salah, you've done the dhikr of Allah, you've obeyed Allah's command, Allah calls the same action. He doesn't call it bay now. He calls it وَابْتَغُوا مِنْ فَضْلِ اللَّهِ. Just seek from the bounties of Allah. Look at that difference. Allah is using a different term to describe the same activity, which is the bounties of Allah. Allah ascribed your profit, your revenue generating assets, your endeavors, your transacting trading as seeking from the bounties of Allah. And when you have the bounties of Allah, can anybody fathom any kind of deficiency when they're seeking the bounties of Allah? Of course not. Allah's bounties are eternal. Allah gives, He'll give you in this world and the hereafter. This is what Allah Sharia compliance is about. In another verse, Allah tells us, رِجَالٌ لَا تُلْهِيهِمْ تِجَارَةٌ وَلَا بَيْعٌ عَنْ ذِكْرِ اللَّهِ وَإِقَامِ الصَّلَاةِ. Allah praises people who are not unmindful from the dhikr of Allah. What does dhikr of Allah mean up here? One is the command of Allah or remembering Allah, but one is Sharia compliance of your business. Okay, scholars mention that Allah praises individuals who are concerned with Allah's commands in their trading and transacting. The Sharia compliance, Allah is praising them. So imagine the value of Sharia compliance is not just to do with a marketing exercise. Really, first and foremost, as a business, your concern, primary concern should be, is my product pleasing to Allah? And then you'll see everything come your way. And this is what this course does. This course is trying to show you those points. Look, be mindful of this to please Allah. Be mindful of this to please Allah. Be mindful of this. So we outline the key areas in each. For blockchain, we mentioned a criteria. For cryptos, we mentioned criteria. For robot advisories, we mentioned the areas which you need to be concerned of. For InvestTech, we mentioned that. For insurance, we mentioned that. Or takaful, we mentioned that. For digital banking, we mentioned that. All these areas we mentioned the key concerns you should have as a Muslim for Sharia compliance. And then, of course, there'll be technical knowledge which you also learn.
Jazakallah Sheikh. This is a very important message for everyone, including the fintechs out there, that Sharia governance is a day zero work, it's not day 10 work. We need to make sure that whatever we are building, because everything is software, including I see a question about accounting entries, that how different it is from the conventional accounting. It's really different because all the mechanics are under the IFE standard. This is our responsibility to not only understand it but also implement and then take this message forward. Sheikh, one of the question we haven't touched on the takaful side. So one of the brother is asking that how fintech takes underwriting process of takaful, and how can it really automate the entire takaful life cycle process? I think you have already mentioned InsureTech, but maybe you can spend 30 seconds on this question so we
It is
can cover the takaful side. Yes.
it's a very good question, and to be honest, it's an area which is still developing. But the fact that, see, the number, because insurance sector needs a number of parties involved. When you use fintech, you can potentially bring more people on one platform, providing different services, and thereby reducing costs, right? So it's just about the customer journey. The main thing is about, see, insurance and fintech. What's one of the key features is plug and play models, right? Where it allows you to benefit from different service providers faster, much faster, right? And this is really, I would say, one of the areas where Takaful can really benefit from. So InsureTech, which is still, look, InsureTech is still very slow. Insurance as a sector which has still not embraced technology. Where we're seeing insurance potentially going forward is more about understand, for example, your car insurance, where they're using telematics, they're using drones are being used now as well to some degree, AI to monitor your kind of uh, performance with that vehicle or whatever it may be, to then give you a quote or premium which is adjusted to your lifestyle. So that's how tech is being used. Drones are being used to survey, monitor things, right? To add further data. So it's really for actuary scientists, for actuaries, and those who are doing the risk modeling to be able to use the greater data that's being real time data that's being provided to them to be able to come to a better quote. Even like medical, for example, your medical insurance, and even takaful up here, if you're providing medical insurance with takaful, uh, your kind of watch that you have, your smartwatch that you wear, your phones, all this data that's been collected, your heart rates, your ECG, because look, you can measure your ECG right now even with your watch and your phone, like on an Android, your Samsung smartwatch, and I'm sure other Apple and these things can probably do the same. So these all are being fed into as data into to the insurance company, and that will impact the way your modeling is done for the pricing of your particular product, because in real time they can see your real state. You don't have to fill out forms then as much. It's more about getting that data from you and really then developing um, developing products which suit you. And of course, then that creates cost efficiencies, which then go down to the customers, right? Because now they can better provide for the market.
Jazakallah Sheikh. There are some other question. One important area we have is social finance, microfinance, and TAIF has recently launched a course on that. On it, is led by Dr. Anika and it's endorsed by Akwa, the largest interest-free organization on the planet. So, Sheikh, help us understanding quickly. how this course will help those waqaf social cause funds which are happening, and what knowledge is there in this course to help those guys who are trying to put together that platform or that cause.
Yeah, no, it's a very good question. So we touch upon these on social finance. Um, social finance a very um, it's a very, I would say, dear topic to my heart. Being involved with Waqf, Alhamdulillah, I'm advising a number of fintech Waqfs around the world, and I think this is an area which we need to really focus on, as well as zakat. But see, with fintech, many, for example, in the UK, my personal view is the legacy-based systems are far better still, right? I'm more convinced of that, just because we have the, see how it works is, if you have the regulatory kind of frameworks and the digital infrastructure already in place, then I don't see much benefit of a fintech in that area. Where I see benefit is in jurisdictions and areas where local infrastructure is not well, as well as regulations are not well, or this fear of corruption, this fear of lack of trust. In these areas, that's where I believe fintech will play a huge role. But for markets such as the UK, Canada, Europe, potentially US, Alhamdulillah, we have a very strong infrastructure, and it's more about then developing products which are, I would say, fit within that infrastructure, but can provide a better customer experience. It's more about work on the front end as opposed to the back end in these countries. Whereas in other countries, it's more about the back end work. That's where fintech is really powerful. Okay, where you need new back end work to make a product really appealing to the market.
That's great. Sheikh, some of the questions are, advisory related. So I will request all the brothers and sisters. We have noted your question. Please write us at contact@taiflearning.com, because this webinar is will not be able to help you on the Sharia advisory, because a very serious, these are serious questions. So we cannot answer those in rush. There are other questions about smart contracts and their implementation in the banks. So for those, Sheikh, if with your permission, I will answer this question. Yes, inshallah, this course will touch smart contracts, uh, and then later on we will also have an hands-on lab, which will be a separate course that focus on blockchain. And this course will really have you the smart contract and the Sharia consideration and what those are. And the next course, inshallah, which will come later on, will be about how to build things on blockchain using Ethereum. So, Sheikh, Jazakallah, one of the question a lot of people ask me in previous courses launch is the practical aspect, like what are the practical aspects covered in this course? Maybe you can just at a high level touch base those.
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, look, this course, it's over, I would say, 5 different modules. Number one really talks about what is fintech, introduces fintech, and this is really important because if I ask somebody to explain fintech, honestly, most people struggle, right? People say, "Oh, it's about using technology with finance." Well, we're using technology with finance already, right? Most of our financial transactions, I mean, the bank that you use right now, it's probably through a smartphone, right? Your banking app. So that's technology. But when we talk about fintech specifically, what do we mean, right? That's the question. And so fintech is about this like three axis kind of, I would say three axis, where the X, Y, and Z axis, where you talk about the business model, technology, and financial sector, all three intertwining to develop a different outcome, right? Right. But not only that, then, so the first module is talking about this. It explains what is fintech. It talks about different waves and history of fintech, because this is not the first wave of fintech. Many people call this era fintech 4.0. We've had 3.0, which was to do with the smartphone and the digitalization of financial services. We had 2.0, which was more to do with internet and financial markets, right? When the internet initially started. And 1.0 was more to do with infrastructure, going back, in mid 1900s, when the ATM came and these things started happening. Some people even go back further and describe the first kind of fintech development as the transatlantic cable that was put between London and New York, the financial centers of the world, to communicate and for trading purposes. So fintech has come in many ways. So that's the first module. Second module talks about blockchain. It tells you what is blockchain, how it works, what are the key features of blockchain, what makes blockchain different to uh, temporary or conventional ledger systems. What makes it different? Then we talk about case studies. We talk about how IBM, for example, is excelling in blockchain. The kind of products is developing. We talk about medical chain. We there's a number of case studies provided how blockchain is being implemented, and if an Islamic fintech wants to implement blockchain, what are the things they should be aware of. Then we talk about crypto assets. What are crypto assets? What is it all about? The types of crypto assets in the world. Um, then we go in deep dive and look at from a Sharia perspective, understanding cryptos, understanding the utility, the value of a crypto, what makes a crypto Sharia compliant, what makes a crypto not Sharia compliant. Then we go into robo advisory, alternative finance, invest technology, wealth management, where technology is being used on these platforms to provide a number of services. We focus again on robo advisory, how to make a robo advisory Sharia compliant. What are the key elements? How is a portfolio made? Right? What does a portfolio consist of in a robo advisory? How is it different to any traditional wealth manager? Uh, Alternative finance. What are the different types of alternative finance? And from an Islamic fintech perspective, what should you be aware of? And then we go into your SaaS, software as a service. We talk about InsureTech, Tech, and we talk about digital banking. And these areas again, we break it down, explaining what it is, what are the features, what are the benefits of this area, and what are some of the Sharia concerns that you should have as a Muslim. And then this will give you that knowledge to say, okay, yes, there's something I need to be aware of. So if I'm launching a takaful product, I should be concerned about this. I should seek more guidance on this area. If I'm launching a digital bank, I should seek an expert from a Sharia perspective to help me structure this. If I'm launching robo advisory, this is what I need to be aware of. I need to get this bit right. I should consult somebody. If it's a crypto, for example, a crypto project you're launching, right? So some brothers in the world are launching a social finance work platforms with cryptos, using cryptos, right? So it'll be the crypto which will be used as a token, as a means of transferring value to those who are in need. Now, how do you structure this whole thing? If you put a waqf on a blockchain, how does that work? So these are the kind of things we're discussing in the course, and inshallah, I have full hope and belief that it'll be of benefit to everybody.
Sheikh, before I let you go, I know time is almost up, but for everybody's information, even when Sheikh leave is because of his weekend, so we requested him. So I really appreciate Sheikh. May Allah Ta'ala
Fahad,
good.
before you close or before let Sheikh go, what I would suggest, like you can give us because one thing, very useful discussion, but one thing that is missing is the overall course structure. You have not mentioned to us how is the course structured. Tell us about the course. So keep Sheikh for few 2 3 4 more minutes, and then you or either Sheikh can describe to us how it is this structured, how many hours, because people keep asking. There is something about the pricing that I will mention once we conclude, but in terms of the course structure, how much time is required, how it is, can you tell us about that? Thank you.
Falba, do you have we're supposed to share some clips, or even share your screen and show something as how the course would
Yeah.
look. That'd be great.
How many, you can tell us, this is a self-paced course, and how many hours are required, how many modules are there, just basic information about the course, because many people have been asking about it.
Yeah, whilst Brother Fahd brings
Fahad?
this up on the screen,
Yeah,
I mean, I've just right now went through the kind of detail of the different
sure.
areas, but I mean, it's just good if you can have like a sneak peek, right? So people can see,
Yeah,
look,
sure.
this will be really be
Yes,
powerful.
Sheikh.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm just going to log into the system.
No, sure. So I mean, whilst you're logging in, one of the areas I think which are uh, really growing, and it's AI, artificial intelligence, right? I think that's another whole area, uh, and we touch upon this in the course, although not too heavily, but it's something which will, I think, feature going forward next 10, 15 years. It's an area from a Sharia perspective. It brings a lot of questions.
Yeah.
So
To help you while Fahad will take up what he's looking for in the computer, like the course is a self-paced course, which means it will be like you will be able to attend the course on at your convenience. So each of the module will be available. There are course has been structured into 5 different modules or 5 different courses. First one is the introduction to fintech and Islamic fintech. As Sheikh very rightly identified, it deals with the basic concepts about fintech, history, and related topics. The second one talks and deals with the blockchain and its Islamic application. Course 3, Introduction to Cryptocurrency and Sharia considerations relating to it. Course 4 relates to Introduction to Islamic InvestTech. And Course 5 deals with several items, which includes Nonbanking, SAS, which is the software as a service, alternative finance, and insurance tech. So this will be like you will be able to do the course at your convenience, and whenever you have time, you can complete one more. You can go for the whole module, all the modules, and that will qualify you for a diploma. And you may go for each of the different courses that we mentioned, and that will qualify you for a certificate. Anything else that I missed, Fahad, you can add. You and Sheikh are the experts.
No, I think you have covered, and this is self-paced. I'm trying to pull up because we were preparing a system for you. Maybe if Asan is listening, Asan, can you please share the course URL with everyone? Meanwhile, I'm just trying
Sure.
to
I will
write up
share
something here.
I will share the course URL in the chat so people can view.
Yeah. So meanwhile, everyone out there can have a look, and while I am going into the system right now. Yeah. So I'm going to share my screen here.
Yeah.
So once you go inside to the system, there will be course content, and there will be, here we'll talk about your book is there on Islamic Fintech. It's a very exhaustive, almost 200 pages book. So enjoy that. But it's a massive amount of information. Then we have placed some reports related to fintech, some researches. I'll be inshallah also supporting Sheikh on writing some fintech research articles. There will be a question area where inshallah you will be getting all the writing all the questions, and inshallah we will be answering. If you don't have the answer, we'll get the expert to do it. I saw a lot of question around cyber security and data security. That is also covered. That is not covered in the course as promised, because the course is more on the serious side. But yeah, that's one of the expertise we have in TAIF. And there will be cyber security webinar conducted very soon. So that is also covered. We will also cover to the level of ISO 701, cyber security regime, and Euro GDPR regime. Then we will talk about Islamic emergence, fintech challenges, risk challenges, robo advisory. So if I really go inside to the course, let me give you an example here. So I'm not going to turn the voice on, but it's like
Islamic Fintech. This first module will really lay the foundations for you and give you the entire map and overview of what fintech is.
There will be the course, and the course, as Brother Zia has mentioned, is a digitally designed course.
Brother Fahad, how many hours total?
Welcome to the
the
online
contents are
module
there?
on understanding fintech.
It's
Find
more
out
than,
what's in it for you
digital
before we take a deep
around 9
dive.
hours. And then we have study materials. So if we combine everything, it's going to be around 40 hours.
This module aims to introduce and explain the concept of fintech and Islamic fintech, so you understand how technology can be used to support and enable the financial products and services in a Sharia compliant manner. By the end of this online training, you should be able to define the term fintech, recall the history of technology and finance, identify the different types of fintech firms,
So just really
recognize the risks and challenges of fintech, explain the concept of Islamic fintech.
I'm not sure whether everyone is
Yeah.
able to hear voice, but there's a voice also with that.
I think in terms of this one is enough.
Ready to begin?
So,
Meet your friend and guide to get started on your...
You may stop, yeah. I think we will be getting, so this is digital content, which is like more interactive, and then we will have resources available at the back end will, as you mentioned. What else will be available? Sheikh, if you want to leave, you are most
Just
welcome.
one,
We will
just
continue with the
just
details.
just one question before Sheikh. We haven't touched the regulatory sandbox side. Some of the brothers have asked, what is the regulation on the fintech? Like, what is the industry landscape? So maybe quickly just help them on the regulatory side and the Sharia governance side of it.
Yeah, I mean, look, in terms of in terms of regulatory, the regime, it just depends on which jurisdiction you're based in, right? Some countries are more advanced than others, but what we're seeing, majority of countries or the upcoming markets, they have sandboxes in place. Those sandboxes will help you develop your product more, and allows you to, you could say, have like a soft launch of your product within that kind of sandbox, where you have much more assistance. In terms of Sharia governance, it's very difficult. I mean, to be honest, right now, this, I would say, in the UAE, in Bahrain, in these countries, it's still developing, and there's some support there already. In the UK, there's not much, but it's good. It's open to for in the UK and other countries, like in the Western countries. It's an open playing, I would say, a level playing field for any fintech come forth to really develop the product and really take it further. So regulatory, so really, I would say it just depends on where you're based, your jurisdiction, but there's a lot of support. I mean, the best thing would be to contact your local regulator, right, and see what kind of services they offer. And look, most countries want fintechs to be uh, in their jurisdiction because they see as a growth potential for their country and for the economy. So many a time I've seen regulators be very supportive of any fintech that goes to regulators for advice and help.
That's great. Jazakallah Sheikh. And with that, I know you have so many activities today. So we'll
No,
let you.
I'd just like to thank
Jazakallah
you
khair.
all. I'd like to thank you all, and it's a pleasure and honor. I'd like to congratulate you all as well for the launch of this course, and I'd request everybody who's participated here to at least take some benefit from the course. Check it out, look at it, inshallah, and let's learn. It's a learning experience. It'll always add value, and I hope, inshallah, it'll add value to you. And we're always open to your feedback. Remember, that's very important. Please do give feedback, your comments, and your thoughts to Taif. Fahad Bhai will share with you the email address and where to send comments and any suggestions for future development, inshallah. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum salam.
Walaikum
So,
salam.
Jazakallah Sheikh. Have a great day. So,
Fahad,
everyone,
Fahad,
yeah,
can you kindly like repeat for everybody's benefit, like in 2 minutes, summary about the course? How many
sure.
modules? What is it? What is it? Okay, how they will, what will be available to them when they will go for the course? Can they do it at their convenience? How much time it will require? All this stuff. Can you kindly just
Yes,
briefly explain for the benefit of everyone?
inshallah. So, I will do it while presenting the, the page we have dedicatedly. Meanwhile, Brother Aslan and Brother Zia, if you can help me, yeah, everyone can open their mic and camera. And then we will take answer questions because I see there are 3 questions raised here. So I'm not sure whether these questions are for us or for share, but inshallah we'll let you we'll unmute you and then inshallah we will take those questions. So yeah, so let's first talk about the course as Brother Z has mentioned. So we have shared with you a page. The page you can go to taiflearning.com as well, and you can learn about TAIF, what TAIF is, and you can purchase course. That's not a problem. But this page is really, it's set up to answer all your questions. So the course is self-paced. So you have entire 1 year to complete it. We understand that everybody have their own schedule, tight schedule, and this course is really intensive. So it's like whenever you have time, you can learn. You can use your cell phone, mobile phone to learn it. You are traveling, you are going from one place to another, or you're sitting down on a couch. You can use your cell phone or your device or laptop to take this course. This course is really designed for the fintech leaders of tomorrow. And then it not only is Islamic bankers or conventional bankers, but students, people who are aspiring fintech, founders, for example, they can also take. So it really covers everyone. And then the course has more than 37 or 40 hours of learning. There will be digital content which you will be interacting with. There will be a lot of PDF file inside, even the digital content. When you come out from each module, there will be a case study that you need to read. There will be some research report you need to read. Sheikh's own fintech book is there inside, about 200 pages. You have to go through that. Then there will be a quiz after each module, and at the end of the diploma, just before the diploma certificate is issued, which is entirely system driven, inshallah, it will be there will be a final exam that you have to take. Now, while you are doing the course, keep in mind that we will be with you side by side. Myself, experts from TAIF, from the technology team also, because TAIF is also a fintech itself, where we have our own cloud computing infrastructure and AI infrastructure and blockchain infrastructure. We do a lot of R&D. So we will be exposing, not in this course, but whoever graduates from this course move on, then, we know that they have the right knowledge to go into the weeds of technology. So we will be exposing that. We will be taking questions on this course. So you feel free to write any question when you are learning. Don't feel shy. Write any question. No question is a silly question. I ask silly question because this is how you learn. So we really want to collaborate on this. We want to form a community, a fintech community, which is completely digital, and then people are exchanging messages. The system also helps you to write messages to each other inside the system. So that's why the system we have built is very, very tailored for Islamic finance industry. And naturally it is really highly secure. So whatever feeds or activity you do in the system is secure. uh, there on the page you will find some data points which we extracted from different reports. But really, it talks about that digital revolution is coming. We need to rethink about our operating model, our business model. So what those models are, what those change in mindset is. So this course will really talk about all those big points. We know that brick and mortar branches are going away and things are happening digitally. uh, Post-COVID, things have accelerated. They were happening, but they have accelerated. One of the data point we have in fintech is that Islamic fintechs are growing in double digit versus their conventional counterpart. So Alhamdulillah for that. We thank Allah for empowering us, giving us the chance. So we are growing in fintech. And next phenomena will be whoever has the right knowledge of fintech and Sharia compliance of it, and they are very, very, inside the fintech phenomena, then banks will be acquiring fintech and banks will be connecting with fintech to grow. This is one of the question I think I've seen on the chat, so I've answered that. Uh, the course diploma has 5 modules. I mean, you can buy each module separately also to make it affordable, but I will encourage everyone to get diploma because it really gives you a 360 entire view of the industry and Islamic fintech side of it. And then it will really help you think that, if you want to specialize tomorrow, then what area you should go, what area you should take. So it will just clarify in your head what the fintech is, what Islamic fintech is all about, what digitalization is all about, and it will really clear your mind that what career should you pursue. For example, I was a product manager for so many years in the Islamic Bank. So when I saw this course written by Sheikh, then I kind of thought that can I use cloud computing technology to roll out my product faster? Can I, what are the Sharia aspects of that? What are the risks and challenges of that? So it was applied to me as a product manager. Then there are inside bank we have so many departments, but really it really is not for bankers. I just want to clarify again, it's for anyone who wants to be in the Islamic fintech revolution. Could be student, could be a teenager, up to the level of a person who is near to the retirement age, because it really helps you to understand the topic. So, module 1 will talk about Islamic fintech and Islamic fintech, the applications of it. Module 2 will be about deep dive on blockchain, different models there, Sharia compliance side, uh, what kind of contracts are there, to the level of APIs we can use. Uh, then third module is about cryptocurrency, what those are, how can I do a Sharia compliant ICO or IEO, what are the basics of Sharia crypto asset screening. I know a lot of brothers ask me this question ask us this question on the chat. So maybe if they are really into fintech and they understand crypto assets, they can directly go and buy this module only. Then we will be talking about InvestTech, capital market, stock screening, robo advisory side of it, automation, the P2P phenomena, the B2B lending phenomena. all those Sharia compliant those models are in technology, and what are the Sharia aspect of it. This is very important. I'm going to emphasize this again because I'm speaking to so many associations in different countries, and what I feel, and I was just like them before. There's a, we don't open our eyes toward the Sharia governance and Sharia compliance, and then later on we have issues from with the regulator. So it's very important that if you want to be at the minimum benchmark of the regulator, then we must understand the IFI rulings, the Sharia rulings of our product. And the fifth module of the diploma, it's about new banking, the SaaS. SaaS is software as service, cloud computing side, alternative finance, and InsureTech. This will talk about the platform, the new banking. What is digital bank is? Is digital bank about only a mobile application, or it's about changing the business model altogether? So it's an inside out change, or it's an outside in change. So all that we'll be discussing. Then we'll be discussing open API, which is the new regulation issued by FCA and now it's applied in Europe, and now it's coming fast. So what is that open banking compliance, and how can we leverage it to uh, roll out different products and services and new models of revenues, and then it really helps us to grow our Islamic finance industry. So that's the momentum of the course. That's the detail of the course, and Brother Zia will be, sharing good news. So I'll let him chime in before I, inshallah, take question. I will request everyone to open their camera, and then, inshallah, let's keep it a very informal, flexible discussion.
Okay, thank you very much, Fahad. Let me open my camera. You can see me. Come back. Okay, there has been, like I was watching, several people had been contacting us what can be done in terms of the pricing. In fact, as brother Mufti Faraz mentioned, there has been a lot of investment in terms of money and time and effort collectively had been gone. But for those of you like who would really want to benefit, the normal price of the course is $495 for the bundle, all the 5 modules. On the page it was like $399, but we decided today that for next 2 days it will not be $399, it will be $325 US, which is around 1,200. And Fahad mentioned that in this you will get access to all the modules, you will get access to the digital content, you will be able to actually download and complete the course. Even you can do it offline, and on completion of the course successfully. And we would encourage you, although like for knowledge, somebody asks us whether somebody can attend the course for knowledge. Definitely you can attend the course for knowledge, but for certification, it's better that you reflect what you have learned and get the diploma as well. So the course fee for the bundle is reduced from for actual original price of 495 to 325 or dirham 1200 for the next 2 days. So avail this opportunity. And for the individual courses, the normal fee is 99 US dollar. We are reducing it to 70 US dollar for the next 2 days, which will be 250 dirham for each of the modules if you take them separately. Each module on completion will qualify you for a certificate. We would recommend you to do the diploma. I would not tell you to, Fahad has been kind to tell you to complete it in 1 year. Okay, the access is for 1 year, but the sooner you complete it, the better, because as Sheikh mentioned, the knowledge is changing. So if you wait for 1 year to complete your diploma, many of the, although we will try to keep things updated, but many of the information might become outdated. So do it as soon as possible within reasonable time. Self-paced course give you an opportunity to do it at your convenience. 325 US dollar, 1,200 dirham for the full bundle, 250 dirham for each of the module. Time is your time to learn fintech and Islamic fintech. Thank you.
Exactly. So one more point, as the brother Zia has mentioned, 1 year means that it just gives you the flexibility. And inshallah, we want you to learn fast because more digital courses are coming. So the faster you are, the faster you will be in the market. So this is a very important point. Thank you, brother Zia. From our side, we will be updating the course as we go along, inshallah. So I'll start taking some question. I'm not sure whether brother Hassan has opened the camera and mic, but I'll start inshallah with brother Hafizullah, and then brother Hafizullah, you can unmute yourself. Brother Hafizullah, you're there. You can unmute yourself. All right, I'll move to brother Ashar Ali. Assalamu alaikum, brother Ashar Ali. Brother Ashar Ali,
Yeah, yes.
go ahead. Assalamu alaikum, brother.
Akosano. Just question, why do you make this a lifetime accessibility and update, because I taken a lot of MOCC courses, right? To be honest with you, I'm taking my master's in digital currency now because fintech is very dynamic, and it keep on changing because most of the course that I took here, it will last a lifetime and the content will be updated all the time. And secondly, I would love to ask about this relevancy of the diploma and the recognition, right? Obviously, you take the Harvard or Cambridge for that matter, is easily recognizable. But in your context, how would it be recognizable, the recognition part of thing, for example, in Malaysia, Indonesia, for that matter. So, thank you.
Sure. So I'll let brother Zia talk about the recognition part, but you raise a very important point for the upgrade. So this core is we started this course in March last year. We start writing those, and till yesterday we are keeping it updated. So there will be case study you will be saying coming in, and it's not a course where we just set up and then leave and forget about it. Constantly, a team is there in TAIF, a digital expert team, who will be updating this course. For example, if Ethereum 2.0 comes tomorrow, which is coming really soon, then you will be seeing Ethereum 2.0 case study there. So even if you finish your diploma in, let's say, 2 months, take an example, for the next 8 months, you have access to the course, and you can always come back and get benefit from the latest updates and case study. You can always ask questions. So again, as I mentioned, normally what institution do is that they just do a course and then students just disperse. We want to build a community, and we want it's a two-way learning stream here now in TAIF. So we will be updating this course. You will be coming in something you see that it's benefit for the everybody knowledge, for the knowledge. You just type the question or you can point us there and we'll update the course. So I hope I answer your question. Brother Zia, you want to talk about the compliance
Yeah,
side?
yeah. No, he was mentioning, highlighting the point of the recognition.
Yeah.
Brother, your point is very valid. I myself, as I mentioned earlier in the beginning, my opening remarks, I've done diploma in terms of for the fintech that is available from one of the institutions that you mentioned. I will not take the name. And I can assure you in terms of the contents and in terms of the quality, we have tried to be comparable. But in terms of the name, yes, surely for TAIF, this is our goal, but not today to be the Harvard of Islamic finance, but today is our beginning. So definitely, but there is a cost involved. But what I can assure you, being like done it myself, I can assure you in terms of the content and the knowledge that you will get will be more comprehensive. You will get the basic information about the fintechs. You will be much clearer in terms of the concept, and you will have much broader view because you will be getting exposure to Islamic fintech as well. And in terms of the price, you know the price, the courses you are referring to, and I have mentioned to you the price. So, but price we have not compromised in terms of the price. Our objective is not to charge more, but Definitely, that's the truth. In terms of in terms of somebody looking for your knowledge, you should be able to reflect and show more when you attend this course. I'm sure of that. Being attended this course, like done, being part of the team that did this course and attended myself. As I said, before we started this, I did a course, Digital Fintech course myself from one of the institutions that you mentioned to understand and learn how things are done. And I can assure you in terms of the learning, we are not behind. You will be learning much more, inshallah. Okay, I hope I answer your question.
So yeah, I have brother Hassan Suleiman. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah, brother Hassan Suleiman. Do you want to ask your question? Brother Hassan Suleiman. Brother Hassan Suleiman. Okay. So I'll go to brother Buhari. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah, brother Buhari, Abu Bakr.
Yes.
Yes, brother.
Hello.
Yes, brother. Go ahead, please. We are hearing.
How are you? I have listened to the conversation well, and it's very educating. However, I have few questions. I am in Liberia, West Africa, and I want to know how can I be a potential member of FinTech? That is one of my questions. And being a potential member, is it that FinTech can capacitate someone financially? So for now, those are my questions, because most of my questions on the models, timing, prices, everything has been answered. And also, in my another related question would be, how will once be fully involved into the day-to-day lectures of FinTech? Thank you.
You're welcome, brother. Jazakallah. I'm so happy that the message is going across West Africa. We in latest risk management course we had brothers from West Africa. They have joined. I'm really humble and thank you very much. So, brother, to answer your first question, how to become a member of FinTech? Now, since TAIF is all about community and it's all about Ummah, we want you to first take this course. It's not about TAIF will be making money and then it's a sale pitch. Naturally we have to generate some profit so we can keep this system becomes a sustainable system for the generations to come. So we want you to take this course, and when you come inside the TAIF platform which I showed you, you will be part and parcel of the community. Now we have 150 plus students right now since last month. You will be talking to them, you will have open access, you will have me, we have brothers here, you have share there, you can ask questions, and you will become a member of FinTech community. Now, FinTech implementation in your country, we can talk about that. So as you are going along into the system and you are taking the course, you feel that there are areas, opportunities where you want TAIF to come in and help you. We are ready and willing to do that with the best of our ability, inshallah. So I hope I answered this question. The second brother we have, the other brother we have, brother Muhibul Islam. Assalamu alaikum, brother from Bangladesh. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah.
Walaikum assalam. Before you ask your question, can you a little bit, because I know that you are, mashallah, our senior student in Dr. Tawfiq course. What was your experience with TAIF when you purchased this course, and what value you feel that you got from the TAIF? Jazakallah.
Actually, I am with TAIF for a long time. Before that, I joined a course on IF Academy in Bangladesh under the guidance of TAIF. That was my first experience of online learning. And then I joined CEIFRAM, that is Risk Management in Islamic Finance. And that course was amazing, just. I can't express myself that what I have learned and what I have got from that course, because everything from the lecturer and from support from TAIF team and from the total support from TAIF learning platform, it was just, for me, it was just an amazing experience for me. And I am, what I found from TAIF learning platform, that is just my excellent journey to the learning. So my requirement is here that in this course, if we are getting the live lecture as we have taken from Dr. Tawfiq, or this or it is just recorded program, and it's we will have to just listen and answer the question.
Jazakallah, brother. Thank you for your humble, and we say Alhamdulillah for that. This is not our skill and ability. This is we thank Allah for accepting our effort. So coming to your question, yes, you are absolutely right. It will be a self-paced question, but we will, as we go down the road, you naturally you can ask question 24 into 7. We'll be replying as we go down the road. Whenever we see we have critical mass, and we need there are some shortcomings and we need a live class. Inshallah, we will do it. So I myself, I'm a digital expert, so I will be along with you. So I'll make sure that all the questions raised are answered. But if we need a live class, most likely we'll be doing a live class in middle and the end of the batch. So with Sheikh, so at least you guys are comfortable with the knowledge. Inshallah. So I hope I
One
answered.
another thing.
Yes, go ahead.
One another thing that today I have completed my examination and I have received my certificate. But here is my name is a bit long, too much long for me. So the name is not fully seen in the space where the name should be.
We'll fix it. Don't worry, inshallah. Just write to me. You have my email. Just write to me.
Okay. Yeah, I have sent you on Slack. So if you just have a look.
Don't
Okay,
worry.
thank you.
So I have brother Adam Muhammad Abu
Yeah,
Bakr.
Fahad, I think it's relevant to mention that for this course as well, although it's a self-paced course, which mean people will be able to do it at their convenience, but there will be sessions with the Sheikh, and you will be able to during when you are doing the classes, you will have access to communicate with Sheikh, and there will be some live sessions as well with Sheikh. So it will be online digital session, but you will still have access to be able to ask or communicate with Sheikh, and there will be live sessions with Sheikh as well. And there is a huge volume of including the book by Sheikh, right? Fahad, this 200-page book. So Mufti Faraz Adam has written a book on Islamic Fintech. I think this was one of the first books on the subject. And that book is also you will be getting that book as well, part of the module. So lots of study material and ability to interact with Mufti Faraz Adam and experts at TAIF while you are doing the course. Thank you.
Yeah. So I have brother Abdul Salam Fusani. Brother,
yeah. Yeah, assalamu alaikum.
Salam, brother.
And assalamu alaikum was another again to Sheikh Zia. I was very, very, very surprised, positively surprised to see Sheikh Zia on this panel. He was my boss some few years ago. I don't know whether he will recollect me now.
I recollect you very well. Jazakallah khair. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Alhamdulillah. I'm so happy to see you again and connecting with you. Jazakallah khair. Thank you very much.
And
Hope
again,
you and family are well.
I must say that Sheikh Zia is a model for the Islamic community in our workplace. So we are always proud, and we are still proud of for being associated with you, inshallah. So my question was, okay, I had two questions in the chat box. Looking at the website, I see some of the courses are labeled private learning, and some are labeled guided learning. I don't know what's the difference, if you could highlight the difference. And secondly, I wanted to ask about how practical for somebody like me, for example, I have a tech background already, and as a Muslim, you want to use your knowledge to to project Islam whichever way. So I don't know how practical is the course. Is it structured in such a way that if one finishes the course within a short time, you can put those knowledges into practice and start developing product that can really benefit, people in while promoting Islamic lifestyle and directly. I don't know whether it's clear.
No, that's a very clear question. So answering question number one, guided learning means it's a self-paced. You can download mobile app, you can interact with the platform anytime you are comfortable. So you don't have to come to the live class. So in the guided learning, you can view the course, you can exit anytime, you can come back, give the quiz, exit anytime, give the final exam. So you have ample amount of time to finish your diploma. So it's on your, it's a kind of self-paced study. The other one is that guided. So this was the private learning. Guided learning is about only live classes. So in guided learning, those courses which are tagged into guided learning on TAIF website, they are only live classes. So, but Islamic FinTech is all about private learning and self-paced learning, followed by few classes. So this is number one. Number two, the practical aspect of it, we have Alhamdulillah covered a lot of practical areas, different operating FinTech models inside it. So take an example of P2P lending platform. So the course will cover what P2P lending means really, for a person who does not understand it. And for a technical person like you who understand P2P platform, it will give you the Sharia compliance sort of the P2P platform and how can it help community. If you're talking about, if it is a P2P lending platform hosted on a Ethereum blockchain and then Solidity is the coding language, no, this course does not help you to write code. That course, it's going to be an intense course on blockchain, which is coming in the future. So it will really prepare you for the blockchain. It will give you the entire 100% view of the blockchain, what it is, what are the different smart contracts, what are the different platform we can leverage, where they stand today, what are the Sharia compliance out of it. And then the next course which is coming will be about, you will be either it's me or someone who's going to teach you how to go into the blockchain platform, set up a smart contract inside the platform, wire it up with the bank. So I hope I answered this question.
Maybe a follow-up. So a subject that has been of interest to me, for example, is microfinance, right? Because in our market here, I see there's a lot of microfinance, but then it is microfinance in the conventional way, right? So it has always been in my mind that, okay, is it possible to provide an Islamic alternative? So I was very happy to see this on your website. But assuming, okay, I take this microfinance course and finish, do you sometimes provide a kind of body, right? That, okay, now I want to develop a product according to this course, okay? Somebody who can maybe help the graduates, in developing the product that fits to my market here and accompany, the graduates in that journey until the product is launched, and a kind of somebody who has done it before within your network and support those graduates into, going through that journey, a kind of experience sharing or knowledge share.
Yes, yes. To answer your question, yes. Will we be providing, consulting services if you buy this course? And no, it will not be a consulting services, but we will help you on structuring the product, how to do it. We will guide you. We will open up our entire network for you if you join TAIF platform. So really, TAIF, as I mentioned, TAIF is not me or brother Zia. TAIF is all about you. It's yours. We don't want to keep it close to our hearts. It's for everyone to benefit. So like if you are struggling to set up a social microfinance community in your country, then TAIF should support you in best of its ability. And then the entire community which are there maybe from your area, or maybe someone from Indonesia or Pakistan, for example, I'll encourage you to take the beginners level course of Dr. Anika from microfinance. That's a very basic, that's a very important course for you. And then when you come to fintech, when you are familiarizing yourself with the fintech, it will help you to implement that thought process into practical means. So I hope I was able to answer your question.
Yeah, yeah. And I will, inshallah, I think I will join. And if for nothing, because of Sheikh Zia, I will have to join, inshallah.
We are with you. So I have brother Hafizullah Irfan. Brother, do you want to ask question? Brother Hafizullah Irfan. Okay. So I have with me brother Tijani. Brother Tijani Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum. Do you want to ask question? Brother Tijani.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
How are you, brother?
Well, Fahad, yeah, alhamdulillah, thank you so much. My question goes like this. Sorry, my own is not a question, it's just a clarification I want. I just heard you saying that the program will last for a year. So actually, I didn't get it right because I got interrupted when I was speaking. When you were speaking, the network just interrupted me. So please, can you highlight more on this? Sorry.
So when I say 1 year, it does not mean that the program will have only 1 year. You as an individual. So if I purchase this course today, then I have 12 months to finish the diploma. I cannot cross 12 months. Number one. But if I'm a student, I have a lot of time and I can spend on focus on fintech. Then you can finish it in a month's time at maximum. It's like 40 hours of learning, so you can finish it. But still, once you finish the course, you have access to the course for one more entire year, inshallah. So I hope I answered this question.
Okay, thank you so much.
Welcome, Jazakallah. So I have with me brother Asif Zaman. Brother Asif Zaman. Assalamu alaikum, brother Asif Zaman.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
I don't know how to switch the. Is this a way to camera is off, right?
You can.
Yes,
actually.
camera is off.
Okay, that's fine. Right. Basically, my question. Okay. Basically, first of all, I just want to introduce myself. My name is Dr. Asif Zaman. I'm an academic here, and I live and reside permanently in South Wales, in United Kingdom, in a city called Cardiff. I'm a program director for basically from my university's MSc Islamic Finance. Basically, and the basic unique thing about my program is that almost up to a point, almost 100%, or I can say I think 99% of the people who take my Islamic basic finance pathways, they are non-Muslims. I mean, hardly any Muslims have come in through our doors for some reason. But my question is that because basically fintech is the new buzzword, and it's very attractive for people who are interested in this type of basic mode of like financing. Do we does this course has any prerequisites? Basically, what I'm asking, do you really need to know the basics about Islamic finance before you can join this course, or can they come with the conventional finance knowledge and just like, basically jump on to your course and be able to like find out about Islamic finance? So that's question number one. Question number two is this, that so in terms of marketing the product, does it, when you talk about basically Sharia compliantness in the course, does it talk about in this case, like a Sharia jurisprudence from different parts of the world, or does it talk about a universal Islamic finance model? Thank you.
So first question, yeah, we don't expect anyone to have Islamic banking knowledge or Sharia compliance knowledge. They can come and interact with the course, inshallah. It will give them it will not only teach them what fintech is, but the basic principle of Islamic finance. Now, whether does Islamic finance will cover all the different contracts like ijara, musharaka, ijara, istasna, ijara bina itna murabaha, how the PDM will calculate. No, naturally that is not the scope of the course. That is something which is coming, and inshallah it will be covered in an IFU course, which will just talk about the analogy of Islamic finance and what are the different contexts of Islamic finance, what are the Sharia rulings. But it will give the basic knowledge to the participant on Islamic bank, Islamic contracts and their terminology. So this is one. Number two, on the different regulatory environment. If I get your question and you're asking that, will it be covering the entire Malaysia, UAE, or Gulf, let's call it Gulf, or Africa, regulatory requirements vis-a-vis Sharia compliance for the fintech? It is not possible. It will talk about the universal guideline, but Alhamdulillah, we have our networks. And then if there's any question specific to, for example, somebody comes in and asks, I want to understand what is the Sharia compliance in Indonesia. What are the accounting standards should I use in my fintech while I'm doing P2P lending and there's a product I have structured, then we will get the help and the question will be inshallah answered. So we
And my last basically follow-up question is that how much a person needs to be technologically kind of like savvy to understand basically fintech, or or anyone can, do they have to have some IT background knowledge? I mean, basically.
No, we don't expect anyone to have an IT knowledge. That's why Sheikh was very clear about it, that the way we have structured the course is that we will assume that you don't know. Only thing you know is like there's a PC and there's a window and then I can write email. That's the basic, and you know how to use internet, then this course is for you. Yeah, so no need for any technology. So this is like for example, take an example of crypto assets. Like this course will talk about what different walks of crypto assets are. What are the Sharia ruling for that universally, naturally. And then if I want to implement a crypto asset and I'm doing ICO, then what should be the best practice? And this is where the course will end. So I hope I answered this question.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you very much. I just wanted to take this opportunity, like, to like thank your team and TAIF, because I've never come across your organization before. This is the first time basically, and I'm very happy that there are like platforms which are talking about basically Sharia compliant, alternatives, and that is available. Obviously there are basic Ivy League universities are talking about basically financial technology, but they're not talking about Islamic finance. And as far as I think, going on from your course, so I would say to all my participants here that basically an education is always like a saving account, and you have to apply your knowledge in order to like benefit either in your present job or in anything basically in the future. I mean, no education, either a master's or a PhD, can guarantee you a job. So basically you have to create and apply that knowledge, and inshallah, then basically there is no like shortage, basically of jobs available. Jazakallah khair for everything.
Brother. And please connect, as I mentioned that brother Asif, if you join this course, please help the other community members, because I'm a learner myself. So I don't guarantee anyone that I know everything. Naturally, I don't know anything, maybe 2%. But this is our responsibility to help each other, handhold each other, because if we don't do it today, we will not go anywhere. So this is we should learn from the past, and I think you hit the nail on the head, brother Asif there. So I have other brother Altaf. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah, brother Altaf. Brother Altaf. Wa alaikum assalam.
Jazakallah for this. I might have missed a few points because I was busy helping my dad. So can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm already doing a number of courses in this field, but my question was, this course, will it give me an additional platform, and has this course been accredited by the UK, and also for further academia, how would it help me?
So this course is not endorsed by the UK regulatory body, let's say for example FCA or Oxford. No, this course is developed by Sheikh Mufti Faraz, who is the CEO and chairman of Amana Advisory UK. So that's the closest you get on the UK. So for how it prepares you for the academia, it gives you an entire complete understanding of that. If you want to become a fintech founder yourself, or you are in that somewhere in that industry, or you want to become part of that industry, then what is the best possible approach and how you can do it easily. And then once you join the course, you will be in the system. There's a type digital learning system. You will have login and password. When you go inside, then you will be connected to all the community members from across the globe. And then you can ask any question.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
It's very, very interesting. I will email you, and we can proceed from that. Thank you.
So I have with me Lawal Makama. Assalamu alaikum, Lawal Makama. All right. So brother Hafizullah, are you back? So I have only two questions, two raise hand here. If somebody wants to ask question, please raise your hand, inshallah. All right. Sounds like there are no questions left. Okay, we have a brother Anisukhan Rahman. I saw him. All right, I'm going to wait for another minute, inshallah, and then we'll call it a day. And as I mentioned, go to taiflearning.com if you want to know about us. I will encourage everyone to join any course which is in taiflearning.com and become part of the community, because it's very, very important that we get connected to the most credible resource, most credible sheikh in the industry, so we know whatever we are doing is right. Number two, it is very important that sheikhs have done their responsibility. They have done their job, right? And they are doing it restlessly. Now this becomes our responsibility that we connect somewhere, and then we join our hand and join our energy to make some impact. So I have brother Mustafa. Assalamu alaikum, brother Mustafa. Brother Mustafa Idibisi. If I'm so sorry if I pronounce your name wrong, but brother Mustafa, can you unmute yourself?
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum. Yes, brother, go ahead.
Yeah, I really appreciate the lecture, and because my question is, after acquiring the knowledge, after undergoing the courses, then one will be equipped to have a standard fintech sector. So, is there any collaboration or international assistance in achieving that?
Brother, I didn't know. I missed the center part of your question. Can you ask your question again? Can you repeat if you don't mind, please?
I said, after undergoing the study, when one has been equipped with the knowledge of this fintech and is now having an idea of setting up the fintech firm or organization in the home country, is there any assistance from the organization in terms of experts, advice, and all other things that are required to get it done?
Yes, yes. So we will be giving you advice. We will inshallah guide you with the best of our ability. You can raise question on the platform. You can connect to us, and inshallah, whatever we can do, we are ready. As far as making impact and it's helping the community, we are there for you, inshallah.
Okay, Jazakallah khair.
Yeah. So I don't see any more questions. So inshallah, so if you have any questions, you have the page there, so you can review all the syllabus, and inshallah this webinar recording will be sent to everyone. We will also send the global Islamic report done by Dinar Standard, inshallah, in that email. But you have really, if you have any questions, connect with us on the social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, connect with me, inshallah. And then if you have any questions, please ask. So inshallah, with that, inshallah, I conclude this webinar. Jazakallah. And then brother Hassan, are you there? So
Yes,
have you?
yes.
So we have provided all the information, right?
We have provided all the information. Yes.
So there was a discount code discussion. Maybe I was not part of it, but is it done? Everybody knows what discount code is.
No, discount code has not been discussed.
So discount is there on the page. So if you purchase this course in next 48 hours, you'll get a 20% discount. If it is not there, connect with us. I'll make sure that so I conclude this call, and Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.